Round of yes, thank you everyone. I'm audible. So yes, again, a very warm welcome to everyone. We have a very interesting and interactive session today, which is email marketing and storytelling. So thank you everyone for sharing your time with us today. My name is Smita, and I'm working with Niche Software Solutions as a marketing manager, and I handle the marketing of our email marketing tool called Juvlon. So as usual, before we begin today's session, I had few housekeeping announcements to make. Please note that the session is being recorded and we'll make the link available with everyone after the webinar. So this link will be sent to everyone, those who have registered through the follow-up email that you'll be receiving in a day or two's time. Please note that we have kept everyone on mute to ensure that any background noise and conversations are kept private. At the same time, I'm happy to announce that this webinar we are trying to make it as interactive as possible. So we will be unmuting some of our attendees from today's session, and even those who want to share their storytelling experience, and especially if it is related to email marketing, you can just raise your hands. There's a show hands option on your GoToWebinar panel, which you can just press. I'll be able to see that who's raised their hands, and I'll unmute the attendees, those who have shown interest to share their stories. Please make sure that you are ready with your microphone so that we'll be able to hear you clearly. So as of now, I have kept everyone on mute except me, and our guest speakers will be unmuted during the session. And if you have to ask any questions, please make use of the question box on your GoToWebinar window, the place where you have just now commented on whether I'm audible or not. So you can write your comments, questions, and anything that you want us to see, or whatever you feel is really important for us to take a note of. Please put it across over there, and we'll try to attend these questions. We'll try to attend all your uh, uh, questions that you have posted over there. In case if you are not able to attend all of them during the webinar, we'll try to take them offline and reply you through email, or we'll get in touch with you and try to give you the correct answers for that. So with this, we'll just quickly move towards the agenda of today's webinar. So we'll be seeing the what exactly is science of storytelling. What exactly is storytelling, and how did this come into picture, and how this is going to be useful. We are also going to see the types of stories that you can tell through email marketing. We'll also see the effective storytelling in emails. How can you effectively tell stories through emails? And how to profit from this channel. I'm sure that every channel that we have, we are trying to discuss is definitely going to be helpful for us to analyze how email marketing is useful for us. So in the last part, we'll see how to profit from this channel. Friends, today we have a guest speaker for us. Let me introduce you all to our today's guest speaker, Dr. Amit Nagpal. Dr. Amit Nagpal is one of the pioneers of digital storytelling in India. He is a social media influencer, author, speaker, trainer, and a coach. His special interest and expertise lies in inspirational storytelling of people, brand storytelling of organizations, and visual storytelling, especially on social and online media. An MBA, PhD, he also features among 100 most influential Indians online, and is a much sought after mentor after the he's much sought after mentor and speaker in B schools and other professional institutions and associations. Doctor, it's pleasure to have you today as our guest speaker. So friends, without any further delay, I am handing over this session to Dr. Amit. Doctor, over to you.
Good morning, Smita, and good morning to all the participants. I hope I am audible.
Is everyone able to hear, Doctor? Yes, Doctor. People are able to hear you. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Welcome to the world of email marketing and the science of storytelling. Why I have used the word science of storytelling and business storytelling is very different from the kind of stories, once upon a time kind of stories which we have heard in childhood. Business storytelling, how it can be used to get the attention of your customers, to create interest and desire for your products and services, and finally how to create clicks and how to get actions or purchases of your products and services. So that we are going to discuss in today's webinar. Let us start with the science of storytelling, how storytelling is a science.
Doctor, before that, would you mind sharing one of your recent developments with
Yes,
BRICS?
Smita. Yeah, in fact, BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry, which is the Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, which are the new international grouping for past few years, which is becoming prominent. I have become, or AL Services has become a social media partner of BRICS Chamber of Commerce and Industry recently, and we have used a very innovative approach there, where we are using storytelling, a short story about the Center for CSR conference which we are conducting. So we are sharing a short story about the Center for CSR and BRICS as part of the email invitations which we are sending to the delegates and others.
Right, right. That's really interesting. Doctor, just few comments from the audience. If you could just hold the microphone a little bit closer, because there is a little
Okay.
bit of fluctuation in the voices, what I've received, the comments from some of our people.
Okay. I hope it would be better now.
Yes, I'm keeping an eye on the comments that are coming in. So,
Right.
shall we navigate to the next slide, sir?
Yes. Storytelling is, probably as old as, civilization, the start of civilization, or, we started, in fact, communicating through stories in the cave paintings, which was 27,000 years ago. Now, how human brain is wired for storytelling, this is a very interesting subject in itself. Uh, all the parts of the brain get activated, whether they are the parts of the brain which are related to the senses, the nerves related to the senses, or the part of the brain which are related to human emotions. So, story is probably the only thing which activates the whole brain, and that is why the attention level is highest when you are sharing the story with your audience or with your customers. Stories, even after reading or hearing them, they stay in your subconscious mind and become memorable. That is why if you look at your own life 20 years back, maybe 30 years back, what do you remember about your childhood? You remember some incidents which are nothing but stories. So you remember them in a form of narrative. So what is a story? Story is a sequence of actions or events, and this narrative format is something which is the human brain is wired to remember. And stories are the maybe the most powerful tool when it comes to the emotional connect. So stories arouse our emotions. And now, interestingly, as marketers, many of you may be knowing, the advertising research says that most of maybe 90-95% of our purchases are influenced by our emotions. So emotions have a huge role to play in our purchases. It can be, stronger or less stronger role, but it has a very strong, it has a very important role to play in all the purchases that we make. So forming that emotional connect is very important, very useful. When you form that emotional connect with your prospects or your customers, and there is nothing wrong in it if you are forming an emotional connect and then selling them your products and staying in touch, providing them good service. There is nothing unethical about it. as long as we are not, just manipulating emotions and selling them wrong products and services, or not providing them good service. So it connects with the emotions of your prospects very powerfully. Next slide. So in simple words, the three E's of email are entertain, educate, and earn. So many of you would have heard the term edutainment. So edutainment is a combination of education plus entertainment, which stays in our mind the longest, which influences us the most because we don't get bored, and we give our full attention. So stories are the most powerful tool of edutainment, and they ultimately, business storytelling will help you create revenues or get profits or earn money, which is the third E of email storytelling, earn. Next slide, please. Now, sometimes, audience members have told me I don't have a story to tell, but I think that is a myth or misconception that we have. We are, telling stories to our colleagues in the office during the lunch, when we are gossiping, when we are sharing the office grapevine, when we are. So all information which we are sharing is in the format of stories, or sometimes shorter stories which we call as anecdotes. So everyone has a story to tell, and finding those stories, adding a little bit of drama to them to create human interest. So we all have a story to tell, and we have to find out those stories which would be relevant from our customers point of view. As an organization, of our department, of our customers, we may have lots of stories to tell. Of course, customer stories are definitely the most powerful. Next. Now let's take example of four of the most powerful stories. The first is a case study. Like, IIM Ahmedabad is famous for its case study approach to teaching. So students are supposed to read the theory at home or at the hostels and come prepared for the case studies which are discussed in the class. So case study is the most powerful tool uh, because it is in the format of a story. It may be a problem faced by the company, which maybe has management students, or students of other professions, even engineering, you may have done case studies. So there is a problem which is faced by the situation, company or the customer, or and then a solution is found to that problem, and or maybe alternative solutions are discussed, and then we reach a conclusion. Okay, this solution has these costs and benefits, and probably this is the best solution in my view. So you share. Now case studies, here when we are talking about case studies, we mean the case studies of happy customers. We have the other story which we call as our history or origin story. It is famous as the term origin story is famous, which is basically what were the origins of the company. What was the idea which fired the entrepreneur to create that organization, to launch that business? Like, we did a story with a company recently where we talked, about the entrepreneur's friend's child staying with him and facing, a lot of health problems. And then, he came across the idea of launching a healthy milk. And, that became the origin story of the organization, why the entrepreneur created that product or launched that product for the market. What was the emotion which drove the entrepreneur, and that is the origin story. Third is the vision story, where you have a long-term vision, a future goal. Now on internet, a lot of people are talking about change the world, let's make the world a better place. So that how in our own small ways we can contribute to a better world. How our organization can make the world, its products can make the world a little better. Changing the word is, I think, a little too dramatic, but making a small contribution to making the word better is something which I would say is a vision story, which the organization has a vision, a long-term plan, a long-term vision for a better world. The fourth category of stories is client testimonials. Now, the difference between case study and client testimonial is the case study is more from the entrepreneur, organization, manager's point of view, while the client testimonial is shared by the client. What was his or her experience with the organization, how the product benefited the client, how it solved the pain areas, the problem which the client was facing, and that is a client testimonial or client recommendation. We all are familiar, but it can also be sometimes we come across these testimonials which are more in very facts and figures oriented mode. We can give them the shape of a story. What was the problem being faced by the client, why he chose that particular product, how he came to know about the product, how the product solved the problem. So then it becomes a story format of testimonial, and which would get a better response from prospective customers, from your target audience. Next, next slide, please. Okay, case studies of happy customers. So how do we prepare? What should be the modus operandi, the procedure for creating case studies of happy customers? Uh, First of all, we would have a list of the customers which are happy with our products. Maybe they have given some testimonial for our product, or they have orally shared their good experience with our product. So first step would be contact some of your happy customers. uh, do a kind of a informal interview with them, find out how they found out about your product, whether they found out about your product online, or when one of their friends or colleagues told about your product. So from where did they get the information about your product? What probably helped them in to move from interest to desire and action mode? What made them purchase the product? What results they got? So like we have this expectation versus achievement. So a client purchases a certain product with a certain expectation that the product will solve the problem in such an in a certain way, and then the client has actual results or achievements. So the client compares the expectations with results, and if expectations are greater than achievements or results, then there is client dissatisfaction. So you can maybe write these three formulas. If E is greater than R, which is expectation is greater than result, then dissatisfied client. So if E is greater than R, dissatisfaction. If E is equal to R, so result is equal to the expectation, then the client is happy or satisfied. And if E is less than R, or R is greater than E, which is results are much more than what client had expected, what the customer had expected, then we have customer delight. So the customer is very happy, and it is in this scenario the customer spreads very good word of mouth about your organization, is very happy to give you a testimonial. Maybe you can sit down with the customer and maybe give his or her testimonial a little story shape, then take the approval of the customer, and then share it with your prospective clients. uh, then finding out about customers which have used your product in some unique way. Maybe they bought the product for some X reason and they ended up using it for Y reason and found it very beneficial, or they bought it for X reason and used it for X as well as Y reason, and got satisfactory results. So if your clients have used your products in a unique way, if they have had some extraordinary unique experiences with usage of your product, with the product experience, then you have to find out such customers, interview them, and create these case studies, which is a very powerful tool. You can upload these case studies on your websites, you can print these case studies, and your salespeople can share it with prospective customers. And these case studies are very powerful tool, and they become even probably the most powerful tool when it comes to B2B marketing. So business to business case studies become even all the more powerful. Next slide. Now the point is, sometimes there is this question that who is the hero of the story? Now traditionally, if you have been watching television advertisements, there also a switch is happening slowly. Maybe 10 years back, most of the advertisements which I used to watch on television, now television advertisement is all storytelling, but it is fiction storytelling, while we will concentrate today more on non-fiction true stories. But if you have seen the television advertisements 10-15 years back, they were very, the organization is the hero, the entrepreneur is the hero, the product is the hero, and the customer had a circumstance, had a problem which was like the villain, and then the product came into the customer's life, solved the problem, and the product ultimately emerges as the hero of the story. Now there is a switch which has happened. The customers have become more evolved, more educated, intelligent, and expecting. So now there is a switchover in terms of a lot of television advertisements are also showing the customer as the hero rather than rather than the product as the hero. Or even sometimes the customer is that what we call as the girl next door or the boy next door, an average customer, and how by using the product the customer becomes the hero of his own story. So the product is helping him become the hero, the product is assisting the customer in that journey, but still the central role, the pivot, the focus is on the customer, and the customer is the hero or the shiro. Like we, for female heroes, we have a new term now, shiro. So the hero or the shiro of the story. Next slide. Okay, before we get into this session number, the next session, let's. I am inviting you, as Smita had discussed about, you sharing your experiences with email marketing, the stories. We welcome stories of mistakes, failures, learnings, successes. So if you have any stories to share, I want the session to be more interactive. We have very intelligent audience online who wants to interact, and we welcome.
Yes, doctor. Thank you for inviting the audience. Anyone from the audience who is all set and ready with the microphone, please show your hands. I'm keeping an eye on this tab where I could see people raising hands. Till the time I get any volunteers, doctor, I have a story to tell of one of my experiences from my earlier organization.
Right.
Yeah, so this was a IT product company again, and we had been doing promotions through all the channels. So email marketing, yes, obviously it was one of the main channels that we were using, and we used to send out promotional emails, offers, as well as the newsletters. So we had these set of subscribers who used to regularly receive our newsletters. In newsletters, we used to have our regular stuff about the blogs that we have written, or is there any new release that we have planned, and all those kind of regular stuff. when we actually initiated the newsletter things, we really got a very good traction. The open rate and the clicks were really very good. Gradually, we experienced that, and we observed that the uh, opens and clicks reduced. And for quite some time, we were really worried, like what should we be doing for improving the engagement with our subscribers. Then all of the sudden, we thought that till now, for probably many months, all these subscribers have been just reading the emails that they have received. They have no idea who the team behind this product is. Why not create a small mailer which has the photographs of our development team actually working on the product? Why not have a collage of photos where we are showing that we too are human beings and we too like to celebrate, and why not add few pictures of some of our events that we have been celebrating? And we I remember very well that when we had sent out this kind of email for the first time, we literally got like more than 100% of subscribers actually 100% opens to our emails that we had sent. And it not only helped us get the opens, there were a couple of them who actually ended up buying the product. So there were people, those who were like saying that they're postponing their purchase, but when they got this kind of an email that it was more personalized, it was more humanized, I'll say, and where they actually could see the faces behind the product that was coming up, it really helped us a lot. So as you said, it definitely was a earning for us while when we sent out such kind of stories. And since then, till date, we have been doing this. We have been implementing, sharing these kind of stories. So I think I agree with you that it's not that no one has a story. Everybody has a story to tell. We just need to identify what should be the story, what we need to tell. So this experience that I had, where we had simple photographs, where somebody, a software engineer, is sitting in front of his computer and trying to do some coding. At the same time, marketing team is also sitting over there trying to figure out some creative way to create the emails. So these kind of collages that we had created, and we had sent it across without any message, without expecting any of our receivers to act anything on it. It was just a simple newsletter that we had sent without any call to action to that. But that definitely helped us. So that's how we could actually gain a lot from telling a story. I believe, I hope this also is a storytelling method, Doctor.
Yes, Smita, of course it is. In fact, newsletters are far more powerful than random emails, which we send once in a while.
Right, right. Uh, Friends, I am not getting any volunteers from the audience, and I am sure that
Okay.
everybody wants to have this interactive session. Just in case, if you do not have any stories to tell, if you want to ask your questions directly to doctor during this webinar, you want to speak, and if you have your microphones ready, do show your hands. I'll unmute you so that you can directly talk to Dr. Amit also. Doctor, shall we proceed to our next slide in this case? We'll wait to see
Yes,
if
we
there
can.
are any volunteers who would like to talk directly during the webinar.
Right, Smita.
Yeah.
Let's proceed.
Yeah.
Okay. So, the key to creating an effective story, what makes a story effective in terms of the objectives which we have, in terms of the goals that we have, what makes it effective in meeting our goals. So you can use this three-part framework to create to create an effective story, and this is a very, very simple framework. In the part one, we talk about the word of the customer before the change happened. Let's take an example. Uh, 5 years back or 7 years back, before the social media arrived, you were using only email marketing, and less people were using email marketing. So the click rates, the open rates were very high. You were getting good results through emails. And Now in part two, the drama begins. There are many more tools available to reach out to the customer, and that creates a problem for the customer. There is a clutter of emails. There are a lot of people are using the email marketing strategy. Social media also has clutter. There are too many people present on social media and using social media marketing. So that is creating the drama in the customer's life. The clutter is the villain here, and it is creating problems for the for the marketer, for you to reach out to your prospective customers. Now in the part three, you resolve the drama, show how your product can be helpful to the customer. You actually help the customer in resolving the drama, the winning over the villain or the situation which the customer is facing, or the pain area or the problem which the customer is facing, which has been a recent change or a new development in the industry. And then in this part three, you first of all you help the customer, you demonstrate how your product can be helpful in this situation, how it can resolve the drama or the challenge you are facing. uh, let's take a simple example. So you create a interesting catchy story for your email campaign. You engage your target customers, make it interactive, engaging, and that creates further interest in your prospective customers or customers. And this email marketing or this email with a catchy story helps you stand out in the noise. So if there are 100 people sending emails, or if there are let's say 20 of your competitors which are sending emails, so your email stands out because of various factors which we will get into the detail also in the next slide. So you have a very catchy headline to your email or subject line. You have a very different kind of an image. Like I remember, one of my blogs had an image uh, where there was a discussion of excitement through storytelling, and there was this image of a baby with mouth open, eyes dilated, and the image got so much of attention. The blog really traveled, or was shared across the world widely. So that image created that. The first part of course is grabbing that attention, getting that attention. So your story grabs that attention, connects you with your customer emotionally, and then ultimately achieves your goal. Next slide, Smita.
Yes, sir. We have few hands that have raised. So shall we take the questions
Okay.
from them? Uh,
Yes, we can.
yeah. Sai Kiran, you're there. I'm unmuting you, so you can go ahead and share your story. Hi, Sai Kiran. You're able to hear us? I have unmuted you.
Oh,
Uh, y-
hello.
yes, Sai Kiran, we are able to hear you. Just make it a little bit louder, please.
Yeah, now okay, it's
Yes.
okay.
Yeah, this is perfect.
Yeah. Yeah, the webinar was really good, Smita. Thanks for giving us the opportunity.
Sure. Thank you.
And to say, I just want to tell you some story which I faced some problems with that.
Mm-hmm.
Email marketing especially. We deals with actually our company deals with jobs mostly. So we have a unique portal of creating their own resume. The students can create resume, and they can also interact with the friends who already created resume.
Mm-hmm.
Everything. It's a kind of a social platform.
Mm-hmm.
So we use email marketing tools for marketing our particular product with students, especially as we deals with jobs and etc. So we our primary customers are students.
Correct.
Okay, and we started talking with them what are their problems they are facing with. So we framed the email saying that what exactly the problem they are facing with,
Mm-hmm.
and we send that email problem facing with, and we gave the conclusion. Okay, so for this problem we are here to help you.
Mm-hmm.
So we also give the conclusion in the same mail, and we sent it to around 5,000 emails per day. We used to send it around 5,000 emails per day. We sent it for around 10 to 15 days,
Mm-hmm.
and we got around 700 registrations into our website.
Mm-hmm.
New customers, new students joined our website.
Right.
But what's happening is that if we add any pictures,
Mm-hmm.
for example, uh, in the story which I explained oral through text,
Mm-hmm.
if I add any pictures which is related to that particular story,
Mm-hmm.
the email which I have sent is directly moving into the spam.
Okay.
Okay, so what we figure out finally is that we should not use any pictures or any video contents, or we should not use more than 2 to 3 links in the email,
Okay.
which helps us, it reaches the customer directly to the inbox of the email, inbox of the customer.
Right.
So we figure out this resolution later,
Mm-hmm.
and we got more registrations.
Okay.
So that's what I want to tell, Smita.
Right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Doctor, anything from your side for this part of story? We have a couple of hands that are being shown. So I'll take one more attendee. But before I
Right.
move to her, Doctor, I'd like to have your comment on Sai Kiran's
Yes.
story.
Yeah, in fact, it will depend upon the policies of the email provider. So maybe Gmail, Yahoo, and whichever email provider you are using may have different policies. Some may block. This if the email has a picture, sometimes that image is not shown because the images are blocked. Or like Sai said, that sometimes the email was moving into spam because maybe the Gmail or the service provider was identifying it as a marketing email because of the image. So too many links, so these are some of the filters which can be used by email providers. So it is good sometimes to do a little bit of hit and trial also. Images really add to the appeal of your email, but if it is getting into spam because of that, of course you have to take the necessary actions. Smita, you can take one more story and then we can move on.
Yes, Sai Kiran, thank you so much for sharing the story. I have Harsh Khushwa who also has raised his hand, so I'm unmuting Harsh. Harsh, you there? Hello, do we have Harsh? We'll wait for a few more seconds.
Okay. Uh,
Was that Harsh? No, doctor, right?
I didn't notice, but we can continue. Maybe we can take it
Yes,
towards
we'll
the end.
we'll take it later. Fine, no problems. We'll just continue.
Please move to the next slide. Yeah. So, like the approach which we have discussed in the three-part framework, this is a sample email which has been sent by a company, where the three paragraphs show you the three parts of the framework which we have discussed about. So the first, part of the email discusses the word before the change happened. Then the second part shows the drama which was happening. Uh, and then the third part discusses how the time boards, which is the product, uh, help the customer become the hero and overcome the challenge. Uh, Next slide, Smita.
Yes.
Now, there is one more thing which is powerful from email marketing as well as social media marketing or marketing point of view. If you have a very lengthy testimonial, if you have a very long video testimonial or a very lengthy text testimonial. Now, customers may not have the time to read two lengthy testimonials. If it is a very, very high value purchase, B2B purchase, maybe the customer would want a more detailed opinion of the customers who have already used it. But generally, it is better to have a short testimonial. This is a very, a good example of a testimonial, which is one line testimonial, but it is coming from a very senior person, and there is a visual or the photo of the person who has given the testimonial. And this testimonial is something which, you know, uh, the online user or the audience is likely to read, and the credibility of the company goes up because of the quick short testimonial which is provided. Next slide, Smita. Okay. Uh, Now in this part we are discussing three aspects of your email, which is the images, the text, and the overall layout. So images, like we discussed, they can be useful in captivating the attention. So image along with a little bit of introduction, a short story about your organization can be a good starting point of the email. Then there is a convincing body or body text of the email. And finally, there is an action motivated conclusion or a call to action. So usually there would be a call to action, but sometimes, supposing if you are sending uh, 3 or 4 emails in a month, then there can be one email which doesn't have any call to action and which tries to emotionally connect with your customers, where you act a little more human to human, where you show your failures, learnings, mistakes, and successes thereafter. And that is a little more connecting with your audience when you act a little more human, and it is a human to human interaction with your customers. So you can also send these H to H or human to human emotionally connecting emails. Maybe I would say, in my opinion, it would be once in a month, but it would also depend upon how many emails you are sending, what is the frequency of those emails. Next slide, Smita. Okay, so first of all, it can be the image can be a good looking infographic. It can be a maybe a PPT slide, or it can be a just a eye catching image. Usually it is better to have the image of the product or the service with the customer using the service. This kind of a image is always better rather than having some irrelevant image which is of a pop singer or celebrity not connecting with the product. uh, as if any of you have been doing email marketing, like there is a saying that customers read in the F format. So that is why the first paragraph of the email is longer, the second is a little shorter, it draws the conclusion, and the third, of course, is your signature or maybe a call to action sentence. So the email is in the shape of F. Now your image should be placed in the top left corner of the email. You have to manage your text in such a way that, understanding that the customer is going to read in the F design, his understanding the eye movement of the customer, so your message has to keep that in mind. Um, Sometimes some people have social sharing buttons on their emails, which is not, in my view, a very good idea, because generally people would not be sharing your newsletters on social media. But if you have some specialized email which doesn't look like promotion, which has more of a story, indirect soft marketing content, and if you have designed special social media specific content, then you can send those emails with social media buttons. But this content should be specifically tailored for social media. And as we have discussed, that If you are not facing problems with images, then the image can be can stand out, can catch the initial attention, and then you convince the customer, share the product story, or you share ideally the customer as the hero story in the email. Next slide, Smita. The email layout should keep in mind the bullets, the call to actions, the headings, and finally, like we discussed, the call to action should be there at the end. And if you have more than one product, then you can have, in that case, you can have more than one images. So these are the three parts: the image, text, and the layout of the content of the email. Uh, Nowadays, of course, there is increasing popularity of video stories. Um, But videos, you have to keep few things in mind. You also have to keep the bandwidth of the user in mind. If you are sending emails only to large organizations which have very good bandwidth, then you can have longer videos. You can have more high definition videos. You can have more videos with which require higher bandwidth. But usually it would be better to have animated videos or videos in non-HD, plain format, because they are easier to download and they do not, the customer or the prospect does not face problem in downloading or watching them because of the bandwidth issues. So video length, in my opinion, should ideally be somewhere between 30 seconds, 45 seconds, max, 1 minute. Only when you have an exceptional story, or maybe you are already a big brand, then maybe people will have that interest of watching a 2 minute or a longer video story. But usually it is better to keep it 30 seconds to 1 minute. So this would be the ideal length in my view. Next. Okay, so now the point is, when we are looking for quick sales, specifically, small and medium enterprises may not have too much patience to build the brand, may not have too much resources also to wait for the brand building, impact to happen. So it is good to have a combination of sales promotion with storytelling. So you start with a story and then you move on to a offer. But sales promotion is fundamentally a hard offer. If you have a hard offer, a sales promotion offer in every email, then you will find that the click rate, the open rate is going down, and your email marketing is no more, connecting with your audience. They don't want to read it because they find all the time you are trying to sell them hard. So it is good, that, like it is mentioned, that every hard offer is withdrawing from the emotional bank account you have created with the customer. So it is good to make deposits also through your content, through the catchy connecting stories, so that your account doesn't run dry. Uh, there is one more very important point when you are creating a sales promotion offer, which is the why. Let's say, if you have a 50% discount throughout the year, or you start a 50% discount offer for 15 days, then you stop it for 15 days, then again restart it. So the prospective customers, the readers, start feeling that these their discounts and offers go throughout the year most of the time. So they will not be able to create that excitement, and they will not be able to create the connect with the audience, because they don't know the why behind your offer. So they may feel that you first you increase the price, and then you offer a discount, and you are making a fool of the customers. But if you have a genuine reason, the genuine why behind the offer, for example, let's say you say that we are giving this special offer because it is the 5th anniversary of the company. We started 5 years back. Now, that is a powerful way of connecting with your prospective customers, because the customer understands the why of your offer, and then the offer looks credible, the offer looks makes sense to the customer, and he or she is more likely to utilize your offer, because he doesn't see it as a manipulation, he sees it as a genuine offer you are making to the. Okay, now like I was saying that SMEs want more faster impact of their email marketing or marketing efforts. So it would be good to have some kind of a incomplete story, and then connect the story to your product immediately. So the chances of sales increase, and the short term impact of the email is going to be more powerful. Um Now, this is something which, of course, giving an incomplete story and then taking this, customer to your product or service immediately. This is something which you will have to either learn by hit and trial, practice, or maybe, involve an expert, email marketing and storytelling experts in your exercise. So, this can be a little, difficult strategy when it is being implemented practically, because the flow has to be natural. The customer should not feel, the reader prospect should not feel that it is an abrupt shift or movement from the story to the selling suddenly. So that that again can backfire. That can be a little this thing. So you have to be careful so that the flow is a little more natural. Now, your whole email doesn't have to be a story like we have discussed already, and the empathy in your story, which is building that shared connection, that shared emotional bond with your customers. Like, Terry Dean is one of the email marketing experts, and he had shared that one of the emails he had talked about uh, how his dog died, and how he was having that grief over the death of the dog. And then lot of his email readers wrote back to him how they could share his grief, how they have gone through the similar experience, and that email connected with the audience very well. And it also had a good impact on the organization later.
So do we have story time? There's one more attendee who is excited to share his story.
Okay, I think we'll wrap up in 5 minutes, and then
Then we'll take it
we'll have
across. Okay,
one story.
sounds good.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I'll move
No,
to the
we'll
next. Sure, sir.
yeah. So, like we have already discussed about the email invitation, which we are doing with Bricks Chambers, which we will share with you shortly. So, email newsletters also we have discussed is a little more structured approach rather than sending a random email once in 6 months and then forgetting. Uh, Now, let's quickly look at the next slide, which is the B2B versus B2C. Are there different? Next slide, Smita. So, in B2C, of course, you can create more emotional appeal, and in B2B, you have to be more logical. But in both the cases, you have to remember, like Brian Kramer in US is talking about, there is no more B2B or B2C. It is about H to H. So the human to human connection is important in both B2B and B2C. In terms of time, if you have fewer B2B customers, so you can give more time to building that H2H connection, while with B2C customers, maybe there you have hundreds or thousands or lakhs of customers, then individual time to the customer, the individual effort with the customer may not, would not be able to spare too much time for each customer. Now, next slide, Smita. Okay, this is the final slide, and then we can take one or two stories from you. So these are some of the tips and tricks we would like to conclude with. use images of real people rather than fictional or this thing, so that can be a little more connecting. Show your authentic personality, like we discussed, failures, mistakes, being human connects with the reader more. The user is going to spend 2 seconds on each email, so they must get that important information within those 2 seconds. The image should have the color, the picture which you have chosen should have some connection with your core branding which you are trying to do. uh, the content which you are trying to share should have, of course, the relevant connection or the relevance with the image. Now, the last point, which is the early stage emails can be more about memorable stories, more appealing to all the audience, more general in their approach. And when you get into more sales oriented emails later, then you need to understand the needs of each of your prospect so that you can have a specific offer for that client. You can understand his exact pain areas and then offer a exact solution to his pain areas. So that is some of the tips and tricks for email marketing. Now we can have one or two stories.
Right, sir. So we have Harsh. I'm unmuting him. He has a story to tell, and after Harsh, I'll take one more attendee. I'll unmute one more attendee because we're running short of time. So we'll have one more person who will be sharing the get a chance to share the story. Harsh, I'm unmuting you. Yes, Harsh.
Sir, I made a story about a scenario of a fictional land.
Yes, Harsh, a little bit louder, please.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, but
Hello.
if you can make it a little bit loud, I think it will be much clearer. We are able to hear, but a little bit clearer sound we might get.
Okay,
Yes,
this is fine now.
this is nice.
Okay, sir. We have made a scenario, a fictional story about a land where a monster was roaming. It was as we are dealing with e-waste management company, we are e-waste management company. So we decided why not, let's say, use e-waste as a monster which is killing people. It's toxic. So we use the current theme of general people rising up against the issues like corruption and everything, and use the saga, build a saga over this, like our epic like Mahabharata and Ramayana. We introduced our general populace as local heroes who stood up against the monster. Then we showed our growth as winning of the battles. We showed our collection of the e-waste and everything, like we are winning a battle in a particular city. We showed our respect to the customers and how they helped us in winning these battles. To generate call to action, we asked them and to sell their electronic waste to us and help us in defeating the monster. So in this way, we were able to create a fictional story which is little bit related to people, as Indian people are more directed towards fictional stories very well. That was the thing we did.
Right, right.
Right.
Thanks, Harsh. Doctor, your comments, please. Hello. Doctor, have we lost you? Your voice?
No, no, I'm there.
Yes, sir.
I'm there.
Okay. Shall we take another
Yeah, we can
story?
take one more story or
Yeah.
maybe
I'll
one or two
just take
questions from there.
Prasanna, you also have shown your hand, so I'm unmuting you. I'll be eager to hear from you, your story or your question. Yes, Prasanna, I have unmuted you. Uh, Prasanna, you're trying to share something with us? Do we have Prasanna with us? I think he's not able to get connected.
I think there is some technical problem as well.
Yes, there is a internet connection. He's just messaged me. Let me try Jitendra. He had also shown his hand. So, okay, Jitendra Grover. Yes, I have unmuted you, and I think you have your microphone already. So go ahead and share your story, or you can shoot a question. Jitendra, you're there? Okay. I think I've just got a message from Prasanna saying that we are not able to hear him. So there's some connection problem. So I'll stop the unmuting of the attendees as of now, and we'll
Right.
definitely share our contact details so that people can share their stories with us over the email. Friends, with this, I'll just take us all to the next slide, which talks about Juvlon. So before that, Doctor, it was pleasure to have you as a guest speaker today. You please be there because we'll be opening the session for question and answer quickly. But again,
Right.
a big thank you for sharing this useful information with us. Friends, so we have seen that how storytelling is really useful, and how this fact of sharing stories, this probably art of telling stories can be used in email marketing, and how effective it is. So how to do email marketing? I mean, there are a couple of new attendees that we have this time also. So just a quick introduction about Juvlon to them. What exactly is Juvlon? So Juvlon is a multi-channel messaging software. Juvlon helps you in sending bulk or mass emails and SMSs. So basically, what you can use Juvlon for, it is to improve your customer engagement and establish a better relationship with your customers and subscribers. At the same time, you can keep your email list healthy and away from bad email addresses. So that definitely helps and improves your email sending, and reduces your chances of emails landing into spam. So along with that, you can also send personalized emails as well as SMSs to all your subscribers. And when I say personalized emails and SMS, it not only means that adding your name or first name and these details. There is much more to personalization within emails and SMSs. We've already spoken about this in a couple of our earlier webinars. I'll be sharing the links to those earlier previous webinars also in the follow-up. So please go through it so you'll understand the power of personalization that Juvlon has provided you with. So friends, go ahead and visit our website www.juvlon.com and take a 30 days free trial. So now with this, I open this session for question and answer. Though we do not have much time, we've already crossed one hour. I'll just quickly take one or two questions, Doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so there's a question which says that what is the right time to ask testimonials or feedback? Is it just after completing the order, or later? So yeah, that's
Uh,
really an interesting question. So we would like to know that what would be the right time to see the customer is really a happy customer.
Right. I think immediately after the delivery of the product is not the right time to ask for a testimonial, because of course the first, number one, the customer has to use the product and find genuine satisfaction in using the product. So customer may either refuse to give a testimonial or give a half-hearted testimonial. So it would always be better that a customer uses the product for a while, the salesperson stays in touch for a while, takes the testimonial after the customer has a satisfactory experience, then the salesperson moves out of the cycle and connects the customer with the customer service team,
Mhm.
takes the testimonial and then moves out.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it has to be a little bit immediately after the order is completed and we realize that the customer has consumed our offers or the product and the services.
Right.
Right. Okay, there's one more question. This again is related to storytelling. So, how would you rate email marketing in comparison to other social media options like Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn when it comes to storytelling?
I would say that social media plus email is an unbeatable combo in the sense that uh, you know social media can be a good tool to find out the relevant prospects
Hmm.
and then staying in touch with them through email. That is a powerful combination.
Right, right. So, I think yes, it has to be a mix of both the things together, and definitely that will help. I mean, it is difficult to rate or rank how email marketing and the other social media actually stand against each other.
Right.
Doctor, I think we are almost running out of the time. It's already more than an hour. So we'll take
Right.
the other question. There are lots of questions that are coming in, but I'm sorry, friends, I'll
Okay.
have to take this offline. And with this, I'll close today's session. Before I close the session, once again, thank you, Doctor, for all your time and the information that you have shared with us. I'm sure it's definitely going to be useful to all our attendees as well as the registrations that have come through. Thanks a lot again. Audience, you've been a very wonderful audience today. Thanks again for making this session an interactive one. With this, I'll close today's session and you all have a very nice day ahead. Thank you, everyone.
Welcome, Smita.